Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery on YouTube. I hope you are doing well. Today I plan to make a couple 6-pound bottles like these that you see here. I think I'm going to make one or two more like that one on the far end there with this more of a straight side. I haven't made any bottles like this in a couple years, and I would like to have some for my next wood firing, so that's what we're going to work on. And if you've been here for a very long time, or if you've been ambitious enough to dig through my video history, you may recognize a bottle very similar to that from one of my very early videos on my channel. But I think then, I don't even know if I did any explanation, but today we're going to do a little more explanation and make one or two bottles like that. So yeah, that's the plan, and let's go. Start the video. Did I start recording? I did. Okay. Maybe we'll leave that in there. Maybe it'll go on the bloopers. I can't even see. Oh man. Well, here we are. I have 6 pounds in one clay ball. I know you guys normally see me center things in 2 separate clay balls, but I decided to just put 6 pounds on here today and just center it. I did that with, I think, the 2 out of the 3 that are over there that you saw in the intro. And believe it or not, I even did some coning up on a couple of the clay balls just to try that out a little bit more. But really just depends on how it feels when I throw it on the wheel, if I feel like coning it up or not. This one I didn't really feel like it, so you didn't get to see that. I'm going to try to keep the bottom of this on the inside the opening not too big, because I want to try to keep the clay in as much as possible instead of it flaring out. That's one of the tricks to making a bottle like this. If you're going to pull that tall skinny cylinder like I need to make that bottle, is you can't let that clay get too wide. I think it's very hard to bring back in. So I'm going to start by doing this at the base. I'm going to do my undercut like I normally do, and I'm actually going to do my first pull a little bit different than I normally do, because I want to really force all this big roll of clay that's here kind of up and in into like a beehive shape. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to do somewhat of a claw, but I'm really going to be pushing like with the heel of my hand, and so I got to have a lot more water than normal. So I'm going to have this my sponge here on the back side. I'm going to kind of push and grab that clay, and then use the heel of my hand to really push that up, as well as this hand here is going to be stabilizing that, and just really squeezing the sponge a little bit to keep that moist as I do that as well, so I can really get that beehive shape and even some of that clay out. So you can see there where I pushed, I used my thumb, but I also used the heel of my hand quite a bit to push that first pull up like that. Then after that, I think I'll do the first couple pulls after this. I'm going to do with my knuckle on my my right hand on my index finger, and then for the last couple pulls I'll switch to my the tip of my middle finger is usually what I pull with after that. I found that I have a bit more control with either lighter pieces or in later pullings with the tip of my finger. But in order to pull more clay at a time, it helps me to have a bigger surface area, like that part of my index finger. So my first couple pulls, like I said, that one there, and then this one here, I guess you could say that's my third pull. That was my second, this will be my third. But I'll dig in with this part of my knuckle, grab it, and pull up from there. Alright, for all the rest of my pools, like I said, I'm going to use the tip of my fingers here instead of that knuckle, just so I have a little bit more control about how much clay I pull. Or just, for me, it just gives me that little bit more control, and I'm not pulling quite as much clay now that I've got it pulled up this high, and I want to control the steadiness of the clay as well, because now it's getting to the more tricky stage of having to pull more clay out of the bottom when it's so tall, and you got to worry about the weight that's on top of that, make sure it doesn't buckle underneath. And so having a bit more control and having my foot on the foot pedal really helps. So if I need to speed up or slow down, I can do that during these more tedious, crucial pulls here once it's taller. Alright, I think I can do one more pull because I think I got a little bit more clay down there, plus I know the last couple cylinders were a little taller than that. And so I'm going to go to that very bottom one more time. This one's going to be a little trickier, this pull, but I think I definitely need to get all the clay out of the bottom that I want to get out. So I'm just going to add a little water to the inside so my hand glides, get water on the outside all the way down, and then do my pull. This is when having very steady pull comes in very crucial, because any slight little misstep or uneven motion and you'll just put a wobble in it or lose the whole thing. It got a little tricky right around there because I was pulling a little bit more clay than I needed to, and so I had to adjust. You probably saw that. You can definitely see that spot now, but I can come back now and even that out. But that spot got a little tricky, a little hairy there for a second. So this is an 18-inch ruler. It's almost 18 inches tall, maybe 17 and a half for the cylinder. I've definitely pulled taller cylinders out of 6 pounds of clay, but I'm not too worried about it being the tallest one I've ever made. I found with this shaped bottle, what I like to do is not necessarily try to get it straight up and down, but more of just a gradual cone shape, but not extreme, and not going to a point, but just coning in just a little bit from the bottom up to the top, and then it changes direction when I go to bring that in to do the neck of the bottle. And working on a larger scale, it's definitely harder to make sure you get that kind of straight edge. Sometimes it's a little easier. I should have gotten my bigger rib with a longer straight edge, and that would help me definitely keep it straighter. Alright, now I'm going to work on the top here. There's not really much water down in the bottom, so I don't have to worry about that. There's a little bit of unevenness there, but I think I can comb this in and cut that off, and it will be fine. Yeah, definitely on making the bottle shape or the top of a bottle, no matter what size it is. One of the keys is if you do have a little bit of a wobble, to cone it in, cut that off, kind of re-wet and kind of adjust that top, and then because you have pinched it in, it's gotten thicker. I think it's important to go ahead and pull that again, and that kind of gets that clay back to the same thickness it was, and helps you to then neck that or choke that in again another time. And if you pull that steady, you're kind of helping to even out that clay there where it was uneven before. And if it shows back up again, I'll just cut it off again, which it probably will. Yep. But that's okay. Like I said, it's just I can get that wobble to the very top. It's got a little bit of a ripple right down there, and that's probably either from that pull or just from that wobble being in there. I don't want to cut that off too much because I want to have enough clay up there to make the top I want on the bottle, but definitely want to keep it cut to make it as even as possible. We'll probably have to cut it one more time to make it that last little bit there. Might have been a reason why I didn't talk that much in that first video. It takes a lot of concentration to make one of these, and so I find myself even on this one not talking as much. Alright, well that's... Oh, sorry for the interruption. I got a phone call and didn't have my phone in airplane mode recording this. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm going to go back to the bottom now and form my little foot. All I'm going to do is take my rib and make that kind of like a straight cut down to the bat so it's flat, and then I'm just going to push in and lift up some of that clay that's at the base, and then kind of round it off a little bit with my thumb and my forefinger or my index finger, and then that'll give me my little foot there, and then a nice little undercut underneath that. And there we go. Alright, let's make another one. we have it. 2 more bottles down, and definitely happy, very happy with both of them, but extremely happy with that last one. I think that's honestly the nicest one out of all 5 of those I made, which is good, seeing it's the last one, at least for now. Now it's time to go take the family to go get dinner. But anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate your support on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on my Etsy sales. All of you patrons out there of mine, I really appreciate you. Thank you for your support as always. And if you're interested in any of those, the links are all in the description. And yeah, so I don't know what the next video will be, but either way, we'll be back soon with another one. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery on YouTube. I hope you are doing well today. You will find a video like that, and hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery on YouTube. I hope you are doing well. Today we're going to make a couple of regular speed, but I just thought I would very similar bottle to that one. One of my very early, I did that one without much talking, but either way, if you actually have been with me for a very long time, or you've dug back in my history of my videos, you may know that this will be a little bit of a Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery on YouTube. I hope you are doing well. Today I plan to make a couple of these 6-pound bottles like you see here on my right. I think I'll throw, they're my left, your right. Agua. Your right, my left. I've messed that up a few times already in trying to explain this, do my intro. But if you've been here any length of time, or actually... Here... Excuse me. A couple more tall, skinny ones like on the far end there, and the straight-sided one. One on the end there, the straight-sided one, the tall, skinny one. Yeah, so let's go. Didn't like that either.